As Bernie Sanders continues to withhold his endorsement of Hillary Clinton, the Vermont senator actually met privately with the presumptive Democratic nominee. In fact, they spoke together for about 2 hours. Well, they sort of talked about an alliance and what they would do to help build for a general election. But remember, he's still not officially on board yet. Mercedes Schlapp, David Morey, and Cathy Taylor are with me. David, Bernie Sanders has become something of a kamikaze pilot with your party. You guys have got to be a little worried. I mean, I think him staying in so long showed that Hillary, to borrow a phrase from Donald Trump, has difficulty closing the deal. He brought up a lot of negatives. He continues to bring up negatives that will be used in a general election, and now he won't go away.
Well, Charles, it was a very close election. Let's remember, he won 23 primaries. She won 34. Only 400 more delegates. If he'd run a little bit better campaign in Nevada, remember how close Iowa was. I mean, Bernie Sanders almost won the nomination, so we have to give him some time and space. They're going to agree on raising wages for workers. They're going to agree on dropping the amount of money in politics, dropping the amount of money that colleges cost. There probably will be a bargaining chip negotiation about the chairperson of the DNC.
All that's low-hanging fruit, David. Will Hillary say, okay, no more super delegates? Will that be the grand thing, and will they get rid of Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
Well, I would predict that the chairperson of the DNC has a tough time keeping the job. It's a hard job to begin with. So I think that's probably one of the bargaining chip that happens here. The superdelegates, that'll be interesting to watch. The Republicans could use a couple superdelegates right now.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, no one will weep more if Debbie Wasserman Schultz loses the job than the Republicans. But be that as it may, Cathy, Bernie, you applaud him, and then after a while you say, my man, you lost, exit stage right.
That's right. He's definitely trying to parlay his 5 minutes of fame into 15 minutes. The risk is he goes from the A list to the D list. I mean, this happens pretty quickly. And look, I get where he wants to use his newly found leverage and power for everything he believes in, and that's his prerogative. And I actually don't think it's doing that much damage to Hillary Clinton at this point. I think it did up until last week. I don't think it does going forward. She seems to have found her stride. She's moved more towards the center in the last week than she had the whole campaign. So I think he runs a real risk of trying to get what he wants, but not getting too much more leverage out of it.
She moved to the center on.
Well, she's been a little more hawkish in her. Look, I don't agree at all.
I know. I'm just
Let
saying
me be very clear before Twitter goes crazy. But as an analyst, I think that she has been more traditional Hillary and a little bit more hawkish than she would with Bernie in the picture in her stance towards defeating ISIS and having a plan.
Mercedes,
it's not a plan I agree with.
Maybe they can remind Bernie that they are going to renew Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm sure he could get a few cameos there.
Perfect.
But in the meantime, what other olive branches are they going to have to extend to him, and how much advantage of this can the GOP take?
Look, I don't really think the Hillary campaign's going to extend too much of an olive branch. I think she's thinking maybe I don't need the Bernie supporters. It would be nice to have them. But she could be moving towards saying, I can get these Clinton Republicans, these never Trump people, and try to court them. Now, could she use the support of the Bernie supporters? Absolutely. But guess what? She's got two very important endorsements, Obama's and Elizabeth Warren. That in and of itself really helps to push this liberal, progressive base towards Hillary Clinton. So she's basically looking at Bernie and saying, either you get on board or just cut the ties and let's move forward.
Right off into the sunset.
Because at this point, Bernie's becoming more and more irrelevant in the process.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to become a real caricature in real life, I don't think. All right, guys, thanks a lot.